Why hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as Lego Dude 11, and today's a brand new review for you out on the channel. And in today's unexpected review, today I wanted to give my thoughts on the new movie Turning Red from Disney Pixar Studios. So without further ado, let's discuss. Alright, so without further ado, this review, I have no notes here, particularly for this review. I kind of just wanted to spit out all my thoughts on my mind here, and generally that's what I do with these reviews, but I take down notes on different sections of the movie or a TV show from reviewing a TV show. But I will give a brief premise about the movie, but this movie, Turning Red, came out yesterday on Disney Plus, March 11th, 2022, if you're watching this archive, 2022, and I just watched this yesterday, the day it came out, and I had lots of fun with it. I'm going to give more thoughts about that in a minute. And this review's coming out the week after, so this review's coming out on Wednesday, which is March 16th, and so let me give a brief premise before I get into, I might get into a little bit of a spoiler here or there, so if you're not wanting anything spoiled for you or like mild details, back out right now. So yeah, that's just that. So this movie, Turning Red, Disney Pixar's Turning Red, focuses on a young a teenage girl, 13-year-old girl, who sets out her life to become a young adult. I guess in this culture, I didn't realize, I don't know specifically like what cultures do this, but I guess in terms of this movie, she is 13, and at that age, she is officially an adult. So she sets out to be her own person, motivates to succeed in everything, gets straight A's, accomplishes all these perfect things. And in doing so, she wants to be herself. She just wants to be out there, do everything right, and, be her own person. However, when she gets home, she has to rely on her mom obeying everything that her parents tell them to do, especially her mom tells her to do. And then, in spite of all these habits that she does, when she hits that age, and once she hits, the point of womanhood, she has this ability to, when she becomes emotionally, let's say, has a high emotion, either scared, really afraid, really sad, really shocked or surprised, like angry, she becomes a red panda. She can turn into a red panda. And that's basically a brief summary of the movie. Not summary, a brief premise, but without giving anything away. So, yeah, back when last year, when Luca came out, I love Luca. I would watch that on repeat. So, when that movie came out, I watched it. I love the trailers for Luca. I watched Luca. And then about a month or so later, I don't even know how long it was. I saw an ad on YouTube, and people were sharing it about Turning Red, the first tease of Turning Red. I'm like, okay, this looks kind of fun. I don't know what to think. It's just showing us the tease of the red panda jumping from building to building. And I'm like, okay, this kind of looks like a fun time. I'll have a blast. I like Pixar, right? I mean, I really enjoyed Luca. I liked Onward. I liked Soul. I liked Luca. Had a good time with those movies. But I didn't know what to think about this movie. Then we got our full first trailer, and I thought, okay, it's neat. I still need more to entice me. Like, all you saw was the mom at the school, her chasing her from the panda. I didn't really know what to expect. That was about a month after, or a little bit after, we got that first tease of her as a panda. And then we get the full teaser about January. We get a longer trailer about January of 2022. And that's when the movie actually started exciting me in a way. I actually got more about who this character is, what the like basic story is, and then I kind of got more interested. I think that, you know, going along with watching that trailer, I think like the first tease I was just like, okay, it's a panda. I don't know what to expect. And I feel like the first trailer did really hook me in. When I watched this movie yesterday, so now I'm going to get into kind of what I generally expected. Before I get into the movie specifics, I want to get into, I don't want to talk about business, but I do want to talk about my feelings about the direction they went about this movie. I don't want to spend too much like politics here with this, but Disney is going a very strange direction with their movies. They have some like inside information with their company and with the head guy, Bob Iger, I believe is his name, or Bob Chapek is his name, and I really hope they don't put the Pixar movie Lightyear on directly onto Disney Plus. I hope they put it in theaters. Fingers crossed for that, because Turning Red is a good movie, but I feel like if people who haven't gone to theaters or are going to theaters now and don't even have Disney Plus aren't going to know about this movie, which is a big downgrade, which is not a good thing for this particular movie. But, however, if you do have Disney Plus, like me, I'm going to the theater and have Disney Plus, so therefore I know about this movie. But, however, if people aren't going to the theater or don't know about this movie, now it is playing. There are commercials on TV, so if you're like, oh, it's on Disney Plus, and I got to get Disney Plus to watch this movie. But, however, it's just one of the downsides to that. There's that. I really hope that Lightyear comes out and is going to come out in theaters, not being directly put out in Disney Plus, because people at Pixar are really upset that Turning Red got put on here and not released in theaters. I feel like they should have done the Encanto thing, where they had Encanto on theaters and on Disney Plus, but that didn't happen. Anyway, nothing to say. It just should have gotten, the bar should have been set higher for this movie, but I really like this movie. So, where do I stand on it? I really enjoyed this movie. I was all over the place about making a review for this movie because I thought this is just going to skip over everybody. And then I really enjoyed it so much that I had to sit down and discuss it for you. I thought I might just do like a 30-second, a minute, 60-second little summary of it, but I couldn't. I had to talk about this because I didn't talk about Luca, which was really good, but this I felt like needed more attention because of what I love so much about this is the groundwork. And I watched specifically a review. I want to state who this was. I watched the review for Sean Chandler's review on this movie, and nothing against him. Everybody can have their own opinion. I totally am fine with his opinion. He mentioned how the movie does not relate to him personally, and that's fine. Everybody can relate to this film their own way. Anybody can relate to any movie in their own way. It doesn't just have to be Pixar. It doesn't just have to be Turning Red. It can be any movie. You can relate to it however you feel fit. But this movie didn't relate to him, but I feel like it related to me. Now, I want to specify, I am not not a female at all, because this movie is directly targeted at teenage girls and women in particular. But there are some themes in this movie that I kind of took on as this should be thrown into everybody's life, no matter who you are, what you want to do in life. Because one of the topics about this movie is finding yourself, and who are you, and what do you want to do in life. That heavily impacted, I think, towards me. But, they keep referencing this isn't you, this is not who you are, and saying I want to do this, I lied to you about who I am. And I feel like that kind of just flowed through me a lot. They also mentioned also something I just thought that was really touching, really great throughout the movie. Something else I want to mention: if you're going into this movie, if you're a parent watching, or if you are wondering how this movie flows, or the humor level, it has lots of humor throughout, and I want to throw in not an analogy, a connection to other films. Cars 2, people aren't huge fans of Cars 2. And I feel like this kind of has a similarity to Cars 2 in the sense that, okay, it's not maybe your taste, but it has lots of funny moments, it has lots of great animation, which I'll get to later, but just lots of great things about it. The movie Soul is definitely a really interesting movie. I feel like this had a connection to Inside Out and the relationships about you and your personality and your body and all that, but beyond that, I think Soul, when Soul came out, it's a movie about this really bizarre concept and how Pixar dealt with death, okay? And which I believe I may have reviewed that movie off the top of my head. I can't remember if I did or not. I don't think I did. No, Onward was the last Pixar movie I reviewed. But Soul dealt with this really deep concept of death and all this, but they didn't directly state that. It kind of went along with the story, and you knew what that was about. If you're like a young kid who's maybe 5 and doesn't know about that, that's okay. But I did, and I thought, well, it was a really moving story. This, however, takes a really deep conversation topic as you're growing up, your teenage years, and just directly puts it out there throughout the whole film. And I feel like either some people will be really uncomfortable, or parents will be like, okay, this is a great topic that I can share with my kids, and this is a great way to just share it with them in a kiddie fashion. However, Sean Chandler didn't really think it was great because he thought it was uncomfortable, certain moments, and however, I thought it was fine. I thought that there were certain moments that were maybe, I wouldn't say cringy, just a little like, whoa, that's a little over the top, but that's just what Pixar wanted to show. This is something new and fresh, and I think it worked. So, if you're going into this thinking like, watching it going, whoa, what am I watching here? I can understand, maybe you weren't thinking about that, but also the name of the film, It Turning Red, is a double entendre for kind of what's going on, this panda, also your teenage years. I did not expect that when I saw the first trailer, and then once I was watching the movie, I'm like, wow, okay, now I understand the title of this movie, Turning Red. So, yeah, that's something to think about. Just a fair warning. But I feel like the great, connection to that is Soul, and the way that they dealt with a huge, heavy connection. Also, Inside Out kind of dealt with a heavy connection topic as well. So there's that. Another thing moving on is the animation of this movie. I love the animation of this movie. I love Pixar. I'm a little bit biased towards these types of movies and animation. I love the animation in Encanto. However, when Disney animation is different from Pixar. And what Pixar does so well is their facial expressions and the way they have their pupils, the eyes on the red panda was so adorable. I could not get over it. And the way the transformation was of the panda and all these different textures were so well done, I could not get enough of it. And after I watched this movie, I watched a 40-minute documentary on it of how the movie was made and all this. And they talked about how they took inspiration behind anime designs, and when it's captured on their faces, their face design changes from this anime style, like their just pupils are large to small, and even when she transforms into the panda, it kind of looks like her face is transforming into this anime style. So it's really neat in that sense. I like how certain effects, like when she throws the dodgeball into the school window, which isn't a spoiler because she does it in the trailer. She it kind of is this huge anime effect, like she's reaching her arm back and just chucks it at the school. It's great. I love the design they chose for everything. And I'm not going to say this is the best animated film that I've ever seen in my life. I'm not going to say this is probably the best animated film of 2022. If that ends up being the case, I think that'd be great. I think that'd be great if this was the best animated film of 2022. Heck, we're already in March. I don't know that. I really loved Mitchell's vs. the Machines. I thought that was the best animated film of 2021. I don't know where I'd put that. If I love the story of Mitchell's vs. the Machines, but this movie, the animation style, I love Pixar. again, this could be the best, this animated film of this year, I don't know. But I definitely loved the way they animated this film. And I'm not going to say this movie is better than Luca either. I'm just going to say that this is different than Luca. Every Pixar film is different in and of itself, okay? They're all different. They have their own unique taste. You know, I'm going to say this right now. I definitely kind of think this film is better than Cars 2. I always have a fun time watching Cars 2. I do like the soundtrack, but if I wanted to watch a Pixar movie, this might be the one that I would rewatch. And something else I want to mention, kind of doing a segue here, is the music. I like this music used in this film. I have not, that was weird. I have not really been to a boy band concert. Now, I'm not generally a guy who likes boy bands. That's kind of the girls' thing. But I do like music. I am a music guy, and I love to play music. I play piano. I like to sing and all this. But I haven't really been to a concert. I do like going and listening to music and bands playing, but boy bands aren't typically my style, okay? And I'll listen to that music on the radio, of course, but if it's going in concert, I would not go see a boy band in concert. But however, this movie definitely had some nice songs in them that I was kind of dancing and jamming, getting along to. And the story of them just trying to go see this concert was really touching, and them trying to work together to get all this money. Now, however, sneaking behind your parents' back, you shouldn't really do that. Don't take that. Don't think that's what you should get out of this movie. Sneaking behind your parents' back is not what you should do. At the end of the movie, you should think, okay, let's work this out. Let's do this as a team. Let's talk to my parents. Let's do that. But yeah, I really got a lot out of it. I think that this movie deserves more. Let's get to the end of this movie. So the one last thing before I close here today is I want to talk about kind of the finale of this movie, the third act, because I really like, I don't want to discuss a play-by-play of this movie, I just kind of want to discuss my favorite things about it. If you haven't seen the movie yet, go check it out, and then you can kind of understand where I'm coming from here. But so, you know, the mom, they try, sorry, just kind of rambling here. Her mom is always obeying her orders. She's always trying to obey the mom's orders. She's growing up, she turns into this red panda because, you know, puberty, all this stuff, right? It's always kind of heavy-handed. But that's okay. And then in the process, her and her friends, by the way, I love all these characters. I love the friends. They're great characters. She tries to get her and her friends to go see this concert for Town, the boy band. She gets all this money from the school by turning into the red panda. They think she's cute and all this. Then she goes to her first boy-girl party. That's kind of in the second act of the movie. And in doing so, they realize that the date of the concert is on the same day as the ritual, which will get rid of her red panda outbursts. And when that happens, she keeps the red panda. She goes to the concert because she lied to her friend that she disgraced her mother and her honor to her mother. And she goes to the concert, apologizes to her friends, all is good again, but her mom breaks out in anger and becomes her red panda. So she goes to find Mei Mei, who is Maylin Lee, who is the main character, which I didn't say that, and then goes to the auditorium where For Town, the boy band's playing, and then the daughter and the mom have a little fight as the red pandas. Now you might think that's pretty cool. I personally did, but if you haven't seen the movie, just get out now because I'm going to get into the funniest part of the movie, which happens during the battle. So I'm going to say it. I'm going to talk about it. So I already knew about this going in from watching Sean Chandler's review, but I laughed at this moment. Some people may cringe, some people may think it's funny, like me. Some people just, I don't know what they'll do. But one of the things that happens, they start fighting, and all of a sudden, the main character, Maylin Lee, Mei-Mei's like, you want to know, you want to see this? You want this? She just starts twerking at her mother. It's like unbelievable. And I'm laughing because I'm like, how is this going to play out? Like, I want to know how this is going to play out. And all of a sudden, she's just doing it. And I'm like, oh my god, this is hilarious. And in the background, all the ancestors of Maylin, of her, are trying to do the ritual to get the mom to become herself again, not become the red panda. And all the ancestors, all the women related to the mom and the daughter can turn into red pandas. So they turn into red pandas too at the end to save the mom. It's kind of chaotic. And they just start singing. Now what's really cool, what's really touching, I just found the twerking at her mother really weird. Really funny weird though. I didn't cringe at it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was kind of like a funny concept. But in the premise, or while doing this, the friends of Maylin actually end up beatboxing and getting the four-town boy band to sing along and help sing and get sound for the mom. I thought that was a really touching way to bring it all together. And then in the end, all the ancestors, including the mom, come back and form back into their old selves. And Maylin, in the end, actually gets to keep the panda, which she wants to, because she wants to be herself and keep this part of her that has been attached to her, well, not her whole life, but been a part of who she is and her ancestors her whole life. So I really did enjoy this movie. I'd give it, I don't know, an 8.5. I thought it deserves an 8.5 out of 10. Excuse me. I'm alright. I think that this movie deserves what more than it got, even though it didn't get released in theaters. And even though I don't give it a 2.5 or a 1.5, I feel like there are some weird things about this movie, but that's just me. Like, it's not the best Pixar film, but it's not the worst either, as Sean Chandler describes it. I really enjoyed this movie. I'd watch it again. I might watch it here with my parents or my mom again. Parenting, friendship, everything I love captured in one movie. Now, again, this movie is targeted at teenage girls and mothers and women. That's okay. But if people like me, other guys out there, I related to this movie. There are other topics in this that you can get out of this. And I feel like that's just something that everybody needs. And even if you don't, if you're someone who's just like, this is a stupid movie, that's okay. Have your own opinion. I don't care. But I'm just saying, if you watch this movie and you get something out of it, cool, great. That's fine. Just wanted to share with you my thoughts on this movie. I liked it a lot. And I'm excited for where Pixar's going in the future. Pixar and anything, any animation studio. But this is a movie worth watching. And whatever you think, it's all your opinion. It's all your thoughts. But anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you thought of Turning Red. If you have seen it, if you haven't seen it, I don't know why you're watching this, why you're at the end of the video. But if you are, be sure to check it. If you haven't, be sure to check it out. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, like with Dude 11 down below. Leave a like on this video if you did enjoy this video. If you didn't like my thoughts, I guess you can hit that dislike button. But if you did, leave a like. Subscribe, follow me at Boba Fett Jedi Master. Links down below. Leave a like. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me. Don't forget to keep calm, play Lego. See you guys in the next review video. Peace out. Bye, everyone.